Hello and welcome to Anna's Virtual Yoga Studio. This segment is my practice on how to relax and unwind after a long trip in the car or by plane, or after a long day when you've come home tired and want to do something easy. I'll also show you how I use miracle balls. I use them somewhat differently than is described in the booklet that they come with. Join me. Yoga offers us wonderful tools for effective stress management. Unreleased stress negatively affects metabolism, hormonal balance, digestion, and mood. So take time every day to relax, even if it's just a little bit. I do this practice every day myself, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 times a day, depending on my needs. I sometimes would do this practice 3 times in a row or spend more time on a particular part of it that I feel benefits me the most. Begin by lying on your back in constructive rest pose with the knees bent, feet apart, and the knees knocked together. Allow your breathing to relax. Have one hand on the lower abdomen and the other hand up on the ribs. And organize your breath so that you're inhaling from the top down, filling the ribs first and the belly second, and exhaling from the bottom up, releasing the abdomen first and then the rib cage second. With each exhalation, relax more and more into the floor. And then very slowly bring both knees into chest and give them a gentle tug and pull. And then proceed with Apanasana. Inhale and bring the knees into tabletop, pointing the toes. And exhale, bring the knees into chest, flexing the toes. As you coordinate breath and movement together, hold on to your knees, so it is a very mild effort. This should feel relaxing. You can also hold on behind your thighs if that's more comfortable for you. Do this several times to release the low back before we put the balls under the pelvis. You may wish to do this part a little bit longer if you feel a lot of tension in your lumbar area. Then when you are ready, put your feet back down on the floor and take the miracle balls. Lift your pelvis and position the balls under the fleshiest part of your buttock or under your sacrum, avoiding the low back, the lumbar region. Find a level position of your pelvis on the balls and then relax. I like to add a little head movement side to side, just relaxed turning of the head, because the elevated pelvis facilitates blood flow to the upper areas of the body, to the neck, which often carries a lot of tension, shoulders, and the brain. Continue with the slow breathing, inhaling from the top down, exhaling from the bottom up. Once you have prepared your neck and shoulder area, you can add an arm movement. On the inhalation, sweeping the arms overhead, and on the exhalation, bringing the arms back down to your sides. Again, coordinating breath and movement together is a wonderful way to soothe and rebalance the frazzled nervous system. Continue to slow down your breathing and to slow down your movement to match your slowed down breathing. With each exhalation, make sure that the exhale is as complete as possible and that your belly is as relaxed as possible at the end of it, so that the low back can release and drape towards the floor. Then we can do one arm at a time and add the head turn. So as you inhale and sweep overhead one arm, turn the head to the side away from it. And repeat side to side. This is a wonderful way to facilitate some lymph flow. There are lymph nodes up in the armpits, up the sides of the neck, and into the head. Often when there is a lot of tension, the lymph nodes become restricted. The lymph flows upwards and is our first line of defense against viruses, parasites. Having open lymph channels is essential for good immunity. After a few to each side, finish with the arms overhead both. And on your next exhalation, bring one knee into chest. You can keep the other leg bent, or you can straighten it like I did, whichever one you prefer and feels most comfortable to you. And then on the inhale, release your bent knee out away from your belly, and on the exhale, bring it a little bit closer in, and continue with your breath in and out, allowing the hips and pelvis to softly stretch. On the inhale, reach overhead again with both arms, and on the exhale, switch legs. Listen to your body. If having your other leg straight out like I do creates any uncomfortable sensation in your low back, bend it and step it in. Everything here is adjustable. So pay attention to how these movements and positions are affecting you and adjust them so that you feel comfortable and that you enjoy it. Once again, next time you finish, bring the arms overhead and step both feet in and remove the balls. Let's repeat Apanasana and observe the effects of this. Inhale, knees away from your chest. Exhale, knees in towards it with a little point and flex of the feet. And if you feel that there is still quite a bit of tension left in your low back, if it doesn't feel completely relaxed against the floor, you may wish to repeat the previous part one more time. Place the balls back under your sacrum and do it again. I find that if I do this series every day, then actually it saves me time over long term. If I spend 15 minutes every day doing this, then I don't need to spend half an hour on any particular body part to unwind it if I allow too much tension to accumulate there. Next, moving the balls up the back. Again, we want to avoid the lumbar region. Sit up and place the balls under your bottom tips of the shoulder blades. You can adjust the position of where the balls are by lifting the pelvis an inch off the floor and just sliding back and forth, moving the balls up the back, down the back. Again, just avoiding the lumbar. When you find a spot that feels particularly delicious, when you have a tension knot and having a little pressure there feels a little achy good, you can linger there. You can always adjust the position of your balls so that they stay close enough together, so that they huddle along the spinal column. Once you find a good spot, you can add a little bit more pressure, kind of shimmying up and down, using your legs to push yourself back and forth on the balls. Allow the balls to stay close together on either side of your spinal column, and use your own body weight to kind of press into them, exploring where the knots are in your upper back. Once you find a good spot to massage, you can add a little side to side and a figure 8 movement. This is my favorite. I often have a lot of tension collected between the shoulder blades. So I would shimmy side to side and then find a kind of a figure 8 massaging movement, pushing my body on one side into the ball and then on the other. You have to experiment here and find what is easy for you to do, what feels good, so that you're not adding additional strain and stress trying to do this. And this is just my way of imitating what a massage feels like. A little bit of muscle tension releasing massage, self-applied this way every day. The balls often begin to separate away from each other and need to be readjusted. If that happens, just sit up again, replace the balls where you want them, and continue. You can do slow movements or you can do a little faster, pushing into the balls the areas of your body that are particularly vocal at the moment. Support your head and keep the elbows up towards the ceiling so that the shoulder blades are spread and you can sink the balls into the tension knots between them. And you can develop your own unique technique for accessing some of the knots that tend to accumulate in the back. Once you're done, for the time being, you can just rest over the balls with your arms open, your head supported maybe on a stack of blankets or a pillow. When you're ready to proceed, my next favorite thing to do is to position the balls as high up the back as possible, right where the trapezius muscle is. And then do the same arm movement as before. On the inhalation, sweeping the arms overhead, and on the exhale, returning the arms back down to sides. As the arms move, the muscles also open up and allow the balls to sink deeper into the tissues. This feels very good. If you find an angle that is particularly interesting and rewarding, feel free to linger there anytime. Once you are done with your upper back, remove the balls and come back to nice, flat, supine position. Check again that the tension in the neck and shoulders has released by turning the head side to side slowly. And if you feel that a little bit more is necessary, you can repeat the process again. If you feel that you are done, take a long breath in and out and relax as completely as you can. And enjoy for a few minutes how light and pain-free your back can feel at the end of a grueling day. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.